Around 500 people, many of them of Iranian descent, gathered at Wakefield Cathedral in West Yorkshire on Saturday for the launch of the Church of England's new Farsi or Persian language Holy Communion service. The service was led by the Bishop of Loughborough, Gully Frances Dekhani, the daughter of a former Anglican bishop of Iran. Before the service began, I asked her about the significance of the new translation.
I think that this translated service of Holy Communion is hugely significant within the life of the Church of England, as we seek to find ways of recognising the diversity that is increasingly the reality of the Church of England. So in this liturgy, what we're doing really is formally recognising a minority community as part of our wider body, and crucially, I think, enabling Persian-speaking, Farsi-speaking people and English-speaking people to worship alongside one another, to allow for a very particular kind of integrated worship, rather than people always needing to worship separately if they want to worship in their own language. So the way that it's set out in parallel to allow us to do that is really significant, and I hope that it'll be the first of other such liturgies to come, to enable us to develop fully integrated intercultural worshipping communities.
Today's worship was billed as a Persian celebration service, and it did have a joyous feel. But the congregation was also focused on remembering present-day Christians in Iran and also the Anglican martyrs. Bishop Gully's brother Baran, who was killed in 1980, and also the Reverend Aristu Sayer, who was martyred 40 years ago. The anniversary was commemorated just last month.
Now we are all here, Farsi, English or other first language speakers, because someone shared the story of God's love in Jesus with us. Some of us have been raised and nurtured within the Christian faith. We were prayed for before our birth. We were nurtured in Christ from the day of our birth. Others of us, like myself, have come to faith in Christ through the living witness of others. Sometimes just one friend, but very often through the loving care of a Christian community too. For some of us, this journey has been relatively easy and straightforward. For others, it has been costly and painful. This has, as we know, included martyrdom for some. The two Anglican Iranian martyrs are the Reverend Aristu Sayer and Bahram Dekhani Tafti. The blood of the martyrs is indeed the seed of the saints. What every single one of us has discovered is the depth, breadth, height and length of God's love in Jesus.
The Old Testament lesson was read by Mushan Chinova, who claimed asylum in the UK after converting from Islam to Christianity in Iran. Before the service, he explained why he had become a Christian.
It's a long story, but if I want to say that in a nutshell, is just by seeing the miracle of Jesus in my life, everything started from that point. And once Jesus cured my wife, and from that day, everything is started and going through.
And could you be an open Christian in Iran? Could you openly practice, or did you have to be quite secret? Or?
Quite secret, because it's not it's not the rule if you want to change your religion in Iran. The government will arrest you. So it was quiet in the church houses. First it started with my friend, and then little by little it going through, and they invite me to the house churches, and so.
And what was it like having to practice your faith secretly? Was it quite scary at times?
To be honest, first I attend to the church, to the house church. I find that they are very friendly and very positive atmosphere there, and it wasn't anything to scare of it. You know, if you take care of what you're doing, take care of your messaging or the instruction that they gave us, there wasn't any way for the government to find out us. But it wasn't nice at all, because when you believe something, you have the right to do it by the way you want, not in a secret, not in a church houses. Why people can't choose their way.
Moshen explained why he welcomed the new Farsi-language liturgy.
You can speak with your God with your own language, the language which you completely understand it, which you're growing up with that. And you can, all the words you know from the childhood, and to communicate with your God. And so I think for all religions, it's the best way to communicate with your God is using your own language, not any other languages.
The Bishop of Bradford, Toby Hamath, said the service has been prepared in light of increasing number of Iranian Christians attending Church of England services.
And it's been my experience since coming here in 2014 as Bishop of Bradford, just that all over, all sorts of different churches with different traditions, different roots, I've come across Persian Christians. And it's not necessarily been that people have been trying to bring those Persian Christians into the church, they've just come along. And so it's a wonderful day today where we're celebrating their presence in our churches and saying we want to do something which really affirms that and celebrates it nationally.
The celebration in Wakefield Cathedral was a multilingual liturgy, with the order of service printed in both English and Farsi languages. It ended with the blessing in Farsi, fittingly given by the former Anglican bishop in Iran, Iraj Motahadi.